Carmentary, Neil here. How's everybody doing? Time for a quick chat. I'm on my way to the airport right now, but I got about 20 minutes. Let's talk about boards. I've had some comments and questions, and we could do a little update. I want to talk about the Field Earth X1, 165 centimeters. It's my magic board. We did an episode on that a couple weeks ago. I recently had a comment and a question about it. The person who sent in the comment something to the effect of, is it still, it seems like a big board, is it gonna be maneuverable in tight trees or maybe smaller sections? I think that was the comment. So we'll talk about that board. I'd also like to talk quickly about the Jones Snowboards Stormchaser 157. Which I actually got to ride for the first time. This is a short run, but a little powder and then on the course. So I got a little taste of what that is like. And that actually is a good comparison to the Field Earth X1. I think that's a good board to compare there. Then maybe a little talk about the Salomon Hillside board that I've been riding. I've got a few more days on it. Yesterday I rode it again. And I'm really starting to get the feel for it and what that board is suited for, and really enjoying it. So let's kind of cover those three. First up, the Field Earth X1. Is it going to be good in tight trees and maneuverable? Hell yes! No problem there. I think the Field Earth board, that X1 is a magical board. Very stable at high speeds, incredible carving on the course. But you've got that rounded spoon nose, kind of a real rocker up in the front, and it floats beautifully. I'm 75 kilos without anything on. If you add in all the gear and the boots and the backpack and everything, 85, 90 kilos, and no problem. No problem. Obviously, boards like the Big Fish, the Superfish, the Cloudliner, other wider, longer boards, yeah, you're gonna get more float, but you're also gonna sacrifice that, sports car-like maneuverability. I would say that the X1 really combines the two, and that's why, I said it was my magic board. It's my go-to board. So, tighter trees, steep slopes, no problem. I have size 30 to 31 foot boots. They're big. My back foot, I run a +3 or a +6, so not too much angle, but I don't really ever experience a problem with toe drag. If it's super hard and icy, I'm not probably going to be riding anyway. But if I am, I'm not going to try to do some crazy deep laid over toe side carving or crazy, super angled heel side. I'm gonna kind of play it safe and let the board, slide a little bit. And in that case, heel drag, toe drag is not a problem. If the snow is soft, then I lean into it and I never worry about dragging my back foot. My front foot is 27 angle, so maybe a little more than most people, but I do recommend that. I think everybody kind of gets started, the rentals, they all set everything up at around like 15 or 16 or whatever it is, 17. And you kind of get used to that. But for real directional riding, free riding, I think it's better. I think, if your knees are your front foot's kind of closed, then you have to overcompensate by turning your body. If your knees nice and open, you can be more balanced. You don't have to be like forcing yourself to look forward so much. It just feels a little more natural. So it's something you might want to try, especially on those Field Earth or Genten type of boards. So that's my answer on the X1. Now comparing it to the Stormchaser. Stormchaser 157, I swapped boards the other day with a friend. We were riding, and that was great. Nice to experience something new. I would probably never have the chance to ride that board. Full rocker, big kind of spoon nose. It's only 157 though, really short tail with a little V. and quite stiff. Like you could feel the stiffness in the flex there. But when I stood on it and rode it, I didn't feel like it was a super hard board. Again, I didn't ride it in a really steep section, which would have been good, but it was fast. You could feel the speed. It was nicely waxed as well, so that helps. But you could feel the speed, and the rocker design, you know, like this and like this, is like, it was loosey, like just, you could just wiggle it around any which way, which was a cool experience. But it had that nice kind of stiff midsection and tail that really locked into the turns, and it was not squirrely by any means. So interesting board. I'd have to ride it more to really give a strong opinion on it, but I think the Jones boards are so popular, and you see so many of them being ridden by people from North America, Canada. Great price point. They're widely available in the high-end rentals here in Japan. In Niseko, everybody seems to have a hovercraft or a Stormchaser, you know, one of these kind of boards. So I think it's something that people can relate to. And if that's a board you've ridden or you ride and you like, I think going from that to the Field Earth X1 would actually be a really good transition. If that's something you rode and you kind of liked, a good progression there. The reverse, I don't know. Again, I'd have to ride it more to give my real opinion, but if you rode that and you like that, I think you would find the Field Earth to be like, yeah, it takes the same kind of feeling, but it steadies it out a little bit. It kind of, you can lock the X1 in a little better. The rocker, the full rocker on that Stormchaser was like, it's an interesting kind of feel. It's very loose. So that was cool. And then finally, the Salomon Hillside. I believe it's a 169. I have the long one. Vole and Nakai collaborating on that board. I rode it a couple days and liked the feel of it. And then I put it away for maybe a week to 10 days. And I brought it back out and did 2 more days on it. And yesterday I rode it at my local hill, Kokusai, and it was quite deep powder, beautiful powder snow, like really nice day. I rode with my daughters and a friend, and we kind of all just cruised around. We did course runs, we did some tree runs, we did little, you know, lots of pow runs, and you know, I think that board is, it's a great board. It's a great board. And what's the best way to describe it? It's got a nice, soft kind of flex. And I like that. I generally like softer snowboards. Especially if you're riding at kind of lower speeds. So maybe if you're a dad, you're riding with your kids, you want to take your kids into the powder and the tree runs. Really like a multi-purpose tool. It's long enough that it really gets the float. It's soft enough that you can, you know, just have fun at kind of low speed. You don't have to be like blasting through everything. And it maintains that, you know, classic freestyle snowboard shape. So obviously you got, you know, younger guys like Nakai who use that to do, you know, crazy freestyle maneuvers and jumps. So, you know, you can look to him to see what's being done on the high end snowboard level. But for me, at 52 years old, I'm not doing kickers and jumps and massive pillows or whatever. I'm not building anything. If there's a little pillow on the course as we go down, I'm gonna want to jump off of it though. And if there's a nice open powder patch, I'm gonna want to do a little butter 360 in the PAL. It feels great. You know, I want to be able to do those when I'm 70. I think that's good. It's good fun. It's not super dangerous. If I fall over in the powder, I'm not going to hurt myself. And that board is like made for that. You know, with that, the shape of the nose, the flex, the size, just the all-around build of it. You know, I do those maneuvers on the big fish. I'll do it on the X1. I'll do it on everything, but it feels way easier on the Hillside 169, for sure. Like, it's designed for that, you know? And I like that. That was really nice. So yesterday I did front side, back side butters. I was just doing all these little moves. If there was little pillows, little bumps, I was popping all these off of them. And doing that stuff, it felt great. I put out a video where I rode it at Rusutsu 10 days, maybe 2 weeks ago. And someone commented, it looks like there's too much tail. And that was a very good comment. You know, sharp eye. But on that day, it did feel like it had too much tail. The tail was like too long for the conditions. It was pretty hard with a layer of POW on top that had a lot of lines on it. So it was like choppy, leftover POW on kind of a firm layer. And in those conditions, for someone like me at 52 years old, it was a lot of work. When the tail is long and you have that kind of freestyle, normal shaped tail, in those conditions, you know, you gotta like really push down on it a lot. It takes a lot of power to ride. Whereas a shorter tail, or even a swallowtail that has less torsion, is gonna be softer and, you know, more forgiving to ride. So I think it kind of, for me, it depends a little bit on the condition, but in, you know, good snow conditions, kind of mellow riding, not going to be, you know, going on the crazy big line, going super fast, just going to be having a fun day around the resort, little side country, little hits, riding with the family. Boom, Hillside 169. It's a good match. It's a very good match. When the conditions get a little harder, yeah, I might make a different choice. I would probably end up going back to the X1, just because that board is so suited for those, you know, slightly tougher conditions. High speed, hard pack, it handles that better for me. Okay, but the bad news is, the good news and the bad news is, I don't have my Field Earth X1 anymore. It has gone. It has disappeared. It is not in my possession anymore. I had an interesting week. I spent a few days on a tour with an amazing chef named Stuart Brioza from San Francisco. You can check him out on Instagram at Atomic Stew. He's got 3 restaurants. One of them is called State Bird Provisions. I believe the other one is Atomic Stew. And he came over on this tour. I was there to videotape things and help produce some images. Absolutely amazing. Great guy, really good snowboarder. Goes snowboarding in Tahoe all the time apparently, and incredible cook. I mean, wow, blew my mind multiple times. I had the pleasure of eating 2 dinners that he made. California, Japanese, and Italian, kind of all mixed together. Apparently that's kind of his favorite combination. And wow, there was some stuff in there that just, yeah, we ate well, let's put it that way. Had a great time with him, and I lent him my X1. He asked if he could ride some snowboards. I don't know what he rides normally, I forgot to ask him. But he rode the X1, and from day one, he rode it every day for like more than a week. And at the end, I was like, damn, I don't think I can ask for it back. Like, he's so into it. Like, he was riding it really, really good. And kind of a nice narrow stance too. He didn't really have a crazy wide stance like most North Americans do. So I think he just nailed it. Like, he had the right stance, the conditions were good, and he was just really enjoying it. He was a little concerned whether it would perform the same in Lake Tahoe area when he gets back. And I'm actually interested to find out how it does. So I said, look, it's yours. Take the board. It's easy for me to get another one. I'll work it out. So the Field Earth X1 is in the hands and underneath the feet of a world-class chef, Stuart Brioza, Atomic Stew. Awesome. So it's making its way back to Tahoe right now. And if you see him on the hills there, stop him, say hi, and go try and eat some food at one of his restaurants, man. Mind blowing. In the future, I believe he will be doing more tours to Japan with Kamui. Please check out Kamui for amazing concierge-style custom travel opportunities here in Japan. They will hook up your trip like no other, man. Look at this weather. Today was an incredibly beautiful bluebird day. We had like that much freshies in my front yard, and it was like super blower pow, like amazing pow. Like I wish I was riding today too. It must have been incredible up there today. What can you do? You can't ride every single day. Well, you could ride every single day, but I'd need like a trust fund or something. Yeah, if you work, then you can't ride every day. But I'm doing pretty good. No complaints. All right, folks. Ooh, is that all blown out? Or is it just the glasses? Okay. Drive safe, everybody.